Well, good evening, everyone. Stand by your beds. It's the start of another year of the craziness that is the Studio Rats Live Q&A. Hooray! Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Welcome
Craziness.
to craziness.
It's not that crazy, is it?
Well, it's a bit crazy. Maybe I'm building this up. Episode 83 starts 2022. Also, some fantastic news to start this year. We popped our 30,000th subscriber on New Year's Day. So thank you so much to everyone who quite frankly watches the drivel that we put out. So thank you. What an all.
The guff. Can I just check, James? Is this the microphone that I'm using?
Yes, it is.
Great. Okay, good.
You sound gorgeous.
Thank you. Oh.
Well, possible.
Get a bit closer.
A couple of bits of feedback from last week. We were joined by the lovely Gregoire, Larry North, as he's known to his mates.
There's only going to be one baldy on this show, and that's me.
Someone said I won't name names for fear of embarrassment, but someone said Greg was great getting back, and another guy said the three of you were a great change from Turkey. I think there's a compliment in there somewhere. So, Mr. Drew, how is your 2022 shaping up thus far?
It's all right. I think I'm still getting over this Omicron thing, which is a bit weird because the wife's over it. But I'm really lethargic at the moment, really struggling to do stuff.
That's called detox, mate. That's nothing to do with Omicron.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely need a bit of detox. But apart from that, yeah, good. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Busy. Hit the new year running. Everyone wants projects, and
including me.
Including you, and of course, then you say to people, "Well, I need this from you before I can complete your project." And then everyone goes silent. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'll get rid of people by giving them jobs to do. So that's quite a good technique. Yeah.
Can we do? Should we do new gear first, or should we do questions first?
Let's dive into some questions because loads of people there's loads of shout outs coming in already.
I'm desperate to show because it's just turned up.
I know you are. I know. Calm. We don't do new gear first, just to let the masses arrive and circle at the gates and all that. However, we did get some early questions in, and the first one is from Pet Moxie.
Pet says, "Hi Pet. Hi both. What is your preferred method for playing, recording, and monitoring guitar? Sound from amp, monitors, or both together?" And Anderton's channel suggested the latter as an idea. Cheers.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll dive in. I tend to look at this a bit old school. Certainly, I would have a slight technical issue with having an amp and speakers on at the same time because you could get some interesting kind of phasing issues which could mess with the sound. I would look at it from, I want to hear the amp first. I want to hear it in the room and see what's going on, or hear what's going on, and get that amp sounding as sweet as I possibly can. And then, if you're lucky enough to have it in another room, or to be able to then switch it to an amp, like a quiet cab or a dummy load or an aux or one of those sort of things, a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? A load box. Then I want to hear it through studio monitors because then I want to hear the sound that's going to tape, as it were. So I want to hear the amp in the room first to get the amp sounding sweet, and then I want to hear what's going to tape.
Nice.
So I certainly when I track guitar, sat about here somewhere, I'm listening to the monitors, not the amp.
Yes. Right. Okay. So what I like, similar to you, I like if it's mic'd up, listening in the room. Personally, see what tends to happen, or what normally happens when you're recording in the same room. If just say you're recording as a band, now normally you've then got headphones on. Yep. So you're getting some of the kick from the amp, but most of the sounds come from headphones, which to me I never really like. So what I like to do is to go into the control room and listen through the monitors. And the reason for that is because if I'm recording the amp dry, I can say to the engineer, I say, can you give a bit of reverb? Can you give me some delay? Or can you do all that sort of stuff? And then you're monitoring a mixed sort of sound, as it were. And if you don't like, just say like the guitar amp is a little bit woofy, it's got a bit too much sort of low mid, so you can change that in the control room. So
yeah.
So that is, if I'm miking up an amp, I like to do that. But personally, I like using load boxes and attenuators and that sort of stuff. So for instance, like using IRs. So the amp goes into a load box, and then you've got IRs built into the load box, or you can load IRs into it, and then you're recording as the mic is as the cab is mic'd up.
Yeah. There is something to be said for if you're tracking, if you're in the band and you're tracking, there is something to be said for having the amp behind you, giving you some air movement. That is a real thing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love, the vibe of being on stage and getting the air movement and stuff. But it's a difficult thing to control, and all too often what you'll find is you fell in love with the sound, a bit of the monitors and a bit of the amp, and then when you come to play back, it's not the sound that you heard when you were recording.
Yeah, I think ideally it's always really nice to record, if you can record in a live situation where like you are monitoring the drums and the bass amp and the guitar amp. Yes, you've got to suffer with all the bleed and all that sort of stuff, but
that's stages. It's like a real stage. I like to record like a real stage. That way, also, what you tend to not then get is people saying, "Oh, can I fix that part, please?" You say, "No," because it's bled into everything else. You just have to get it right. You just have to play it right.
It's so fun, isn't it? It's something that and I'm stating myself on this as well. You sort of, I think we've lost that skill, that sort of Steve Lukather skill of just going in and getting it right, because now we can just go in and go, well, do you know what? I'll comp that together and I'll do that and I'll do that.
But that's why players like Lukather exist, because he could go in and first or second take nail it.
Without a doubt, but technology has changed now. Technology has changed where you can do a lot more with stuff. But then skills obviously changed, because those guys that's why there was only a handful of guys that could do that well. Yeah,
and that's why he's probably one of the most recorded guitarists on planet Earth.
So good, very good.
And enough of the Lukather-gizing. Eulogizing, I don't know. You know where I'm going.
I do. It's not working. Hey, Jeff Rock, good evening.
Is in the house. Our next question is from Scooby Snap.
He says, I want to adjust parameters on a preset in the Katana Librarian. After choosing the preset and making adjustments in the editor, I hit right, and now it puts the preset from the library in my next memory on the Katana. Is there any way to not make this happen? Thanks so much. Oh, I see. So you just want to...
He wants to tweak the preset in the Librarian, but not have it, when you write it, it instantly jumps into the Katana. I don't think there is.
No. What you can do, you could... So in the Librarian, you can choose the presets. No, I don't think you can do that.
Because you can't have...
I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it that way.
Well, if you're just globally tweaking a load of presets, you don't want to have every single one rewrite the patches on your Katana, perhaps.
But if you're globally writing the presets, you want to save those presets, don't you? You want to save it to the Katana.
True. Not sure. I don't think it can be done. I don't think you can do it with not. Does the Librarian appear even if you have the Katana not attached?
No. The Librarian is a USB thing. But what you could do is you can save that patch, and then you can go into the library, and then you can load that patch, and then you can click on another patch and load that patch. But it doesn't actually load the patch to the Katana. Then you can edit it in the Librarian. So that's what I would do. I would save it, and then if you want to tweak things, do it in the Librarian. But you're always going to have to save it to, I think, let me just double check on that. Let me just quickly click on it, because where is it?
Have you got one attached?
No, I haven't, but you can load up the software without.
Right.
So let me go to Librarian, and if I go that one, and then I go right. Yeah, no, it's always going to write to the Katana.
Okay. Sorry about that. One for the boss wish list, I think.
Yep.
Bruce Brooks says,
"What's up, guys? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Bruce. Nice to have you on. Keith Milner says, Happy New Year all. Happy New Year, Keith. David Stockton, evening chaps. Happy New Year to all.
There's a lot of this going on, which is all very, very civilized.
Bruce Brooks says, got hold of an original 54. Oh, factory Bigsby this week. Trying to flip it. Can't play it. Neck is like a baseball bat. No, send it over to me. I tell you what, Bruce, I'll swap it for a 2-rock amp. That is. Oh, do you know what? Do you remember, Bruce? Has it got all the sort of the green, the sort of verdi-green sort of, and lots of cracks? Because I'd love that. And I love big necks. Bring on the big necks.
I like big necks, and I cannot lie.
Yeah, no, I love it. Give me a big fat neck on a guitar, mate.
So many lines, so little time.
Not on a woman, mate. I love a thick neck on a woman. Paul Murphy, enjoyed your video on acoustic tones. Any plans to additional sessions? Thanks. Do you mean, Paul, are you talking about what video? We've done a few video on acoustic stuff.
Yeah, we did the one where you and I tried the greatest mic in the world on acoustic, and I proved to you that my way was better.
It wasn't.
It was.
So yes, was it? I've done a few. We've done one on Nashville tuning. We've done a few different ones. Are we doing any more on acoustics?
Yes,
probably. Yeah, at some point.
I've got my 12-string to bring over.
Yes, you have actually. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you mean just like miking up and getting sort of studio tones, yes, absolutely. If you mean sort of plugging into a katana, probably not.
Because I didn't think it sounded that good.
Well, it sounds all right. It's very usable for things.
If you're on a gig, if you're a function band and you want to play a crazy little thing called Love.
Yes, very good. Yes,
yeah.
Nice one. Well thought.
I was trying to think of something that you blatantly want acoustic tone at the beginning, but you really want that then Telecaster tone later on. Anywho,
LDAG says, "Happy New Year, fellas. Happy New Year, mate." Dave McQuillan's in the house. Happy New Year, guys. Have a fantastic 2022. James, show it.
Show it. There it is. That's a
thing. And if anyone hasn't bought one of Dave's, the Highland Plectrum Company's plectrums, what are you doing?
They're awesome. Genuinely,
absolutely awesome.
I've been doing a load of kind of surf 60s reissue stuff recently for Rex over in sunny Salt Lake City, and this plectrum and the Jaguar are amazing for it. So this plectrum on the Jag sounds amazing.
Well, my favourite is the old British penny.
Yeah.
Which is so what David does, the Highland Plectrum Company, if you guys don't know this, he gets like old coins and he makes them into these amazing plectrums, and they sound amazing.
I have a $50. Now I'm not sure what the generic nickname for that is, but it's awesome. It sounds great. It's a really nice. I know it's particularly obvious. It's got a really nice metallic-y, bright sound, but it really has.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, next one. Phil. Hi, Phil. How you doing? Top Load Telly says, Happy New Year. Congrats on 30k subs. Cheers, mate.
Yay.
Yes. So I want to reach 50 this year by the end of the year.
Well, we should do that. Yeah. We should do that easy.
Should do it. LDAG says, well done, lads. Thanks, mate. Hi, Safie. How you doing? Safie's in the house.
He is indeed.
Michaela's in the house. Happy New Year, guys. Keep them rocking and rolling. Will do, mate. And to you. Richard Paul, hello guys, Happy New Year to everyone in the house.
That's a beautiful Les Paul, but we've said that before.
Chris in Nashville, lucky bugger.
So want to go to Nashville.
Howdy, mate. Go back. I want to see Chris's.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it? What is it? It looks like a.
It looks a bit like a Saturn. I reckon. That's
it's an Ibanez. Is Saturn the Ibanez?
No. That's an RG 540, I think, isn't it?
I'm going to agree and nod because they all look the same after a while.
Nice, yeah.
I tell you what, I did see the other day the Frank Gambale signature Ibanez, and I went.
That was like the Frank Gambale one. That's the same as the Gambale one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I went. The only problem is it's bright yellow. I mean, it's super yellow.
Yeah, but that was that 80s, early 90s thing, wasn't it?
Boy, can that guy play.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. How you doing? Pez in the house. How you doing, mate? Mr. Larry North. Evening all, just been listening to Mr. Blue Guitar talking Ampex. Sounds lush. When are you getting hold of one, Paul? Has he got one out yet? Larry, let us know. I haven't seen the show, so it'd be interesting. We should have got him on if he's doing that. We should get him on.
Definitely should
after his show, so he can show us.
Yeah, sooner rather than later.
Yep. Keith says nearly bought one when I was working in Tokyo 2019, but didn't have the confidence to go into the shop with my minimal Japanese language. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Are we talking? Hold on.
What were we talking about? Nearly bought I don't know. Oh, I wish we knew. Hang on. He says later.
Katana,
no,
maybe?
Yeah, he does say Katana. I'm sure it's he comes back to it later. Katana. I'm sure it's Katana.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
K. Michael P. Howdy, y'all. Hello, mate. 25 degree. Oh,
yeah,
man.
right. It was -1 when I took the kids to school this morning.
Fuck, it's just like a mud bath out there at the moment, isn't it? That's the thing.
It is January. It is the middle of winter.
I know, but I bet Florida, they don't get like muddy. And mind you, they do get rain, don't they? Out there. Anyway, Keith says, yes, the librarian does appear in offline mode. Yes, it appears, but you can't. You won't be able to save to the Katana.
Okay.
Keep on playing says, listen to some songs of y'all. Got something too. My comment to What If the World and Pictures of You. Hold on. I listened to some songs of yours, I guess.
Yes.
So got something too.
Not quite sure. But I mean, What If the World Doesn't Turn and Pictures of You are two of my favourite Studio Rex tracks. I think What If the World Doesn't Turn is my favourite Studio Rex track.
It's my favourite track. Yeah. Cheers,
because it's very Eagles-esque.
Eagles-esque.
It's
Don Henley.
It's Don Henley, isn't it? It's very Don Henley-esque. Yeah.
I ripped off Don Henley on that one.
Careful, because Don doesn't like being ripped off.
No, he doesn't, does he? Doesn't. So yeah, we're working on some new stuff with Jack Rubinacci at the moment.
I'm so glad you said his surname right.
Rubiducci. Jeff Rock says, congrats on the 30k, guys. 2022 has started well with another lefty Fender guitar purchase with an issue. Oh no. With an issue. I'm 6 for 6 now. Latest is a Charvel DK24 HH Goto 510 bridge. Back trim cover, no slot. Nice.
All of those things sound impressive. I don't really know what they mean.
Keep on playing. Guitar arrangement topic in the future. There are lots of pristine and clean players out there with insane technical skills. But to serve a song in a way you did is a kind of art. Very nice band. Oh, thanks, mate.
Oh.
Very kind.
Thank you very much indeed. We do our best. I mean, I hit things for a living, so.
Hold on a second. Something's happened.
Oh, hello. Oh, it's happened already. It's a good way to start the new year.
Okay. Oh, Pet, thank you so much, mate. That's very kind of you. That's okay. So he says, cheers for the feedback. I should have added that I'm only recording myself on guitar and Vox. What plugins do you use to make the internet sound better? The internet.
As in, what are we using now? Absolutely nothing. I mean, I'm just going from my little Shure microphone thing straight into. That's what I'm using. Yeah, I think.
Oh, nice.
Hello. Oh, that sounded really lovely, didn't it? Yes, I'm using that straight into the interwebs, into StreamYard. That's what I'm using. No processing, no cleverness. That's what it sounds. I don't know if you do any processing type stuff to make you sound lovely.
I've got an 1176 on the vocal somewhere. Okay. I think. Actually, I don't even know if that's going to tape.
Alternative. I mean, if you're referring to how do we make things sound good on the interwebs, the biggest trick I would say is to make sure you get your loudness leveling right and hit. I would say between -14, -16 dBFS is a good.
I get really confused with the LUFS thing.
Yeah,
I need someone to explain that to me at some point because I really don't. It really upsets me that there's so many different standards of monitoring stuff, and I just want someone to say to me, you want to get to this level and everything's good.
Generally between -14, -16 is a good place to be.
Sure, but what's the difference between LUFS and DBFS?
DBFS and LUF. So DBFS is a level meter. I shouldn't have said DBFS. That was my mistake, and this is why we have this problem, because you do that what I'm going to refer to as stroke face, and I then go and get annoyed with you. Loudness units full scale, or LUFS, is where you want to be. Don't worry about actual dB measurement. Worry about loudness measurement. As soon as you hit a good number, it's fine.
Can you show me that when next time you're over?
I will do, and I'll show you. I'll show you the quickest way to make sure you hit all the right numbers. It's so easy.
Oh, nice one. Cheers, mate. Nice one.
Right. Where nearly were we? Thank you, Pet, for your
cheers, Pet. That's really kind of
donation to sick animals. You didn't. I don't know the sick animals when I'm betting on them, but you know. We were there, weren't we? We were going there. Right, go. This is about the Les Paul.
Okay. Oh, it has a proper green patina and lacquer checking, otherwise in great shape. No, that makes it even better for me. With OHSC. We've had this before, and we've asked what OHSC means, and someone said, and it went, of course it does.
We all went, yeah.
No case.
Someone will tell us in a minute, because we're stupid.
Okay, I actually was able to reach out to Joe Bonamassa, and he's shown some interest. Do you know what I mean? That's some serious business. I need to send him some more pics. Oh man, do you know what?
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I did a video once. If any of you guys know the amp manufacturer, Lazy J, Jesse, who makes Lazy J amps, he's got a 54.
You played that on the video we did with at Core, didn't you?
Did I take it to Core?
I think you certainly had the Lazy J amp. I'm sure you used the.
Did I take it? No, I wouldn't have taken that guitar. That's worth too much money.
Okay, well, you definitely used the Lazy J amp.
I might have done. Yeah, but I've definitely done a video of that 54, and it was.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really unusual tone. Actually, it doesn't sound like. It sounds more like a telly than a. It sounds like a big fat telly. I mean, obviously it's got P90s as opposed to humbuckers, but
that's cool.
I'd love an old guitar like that. I highly recommend the 5 yen plectrum. Maybe Keith was talking about plectrums.
Maybe, yes. Yes.
Richard Paul says, how difficult did you find it starting out trying to get business recording, producing, mixing artists? My son has just got his new studio, mainly hip hop style stuff. Any one thing, do, don't. It's really tricky. So I fell into, for some reason, I was doing a gig somewhere, and this manager of a pop band, came over to talk to us, and he said, I don't suppose you do any producing, do you? And I said, yeah, funny enough, I do. And that's how I got into it. But yeah, isn't that funny? Because that one chance meeting changes everything, as opposed to.
It's funny. I mean, I bought a load of studio. I mean, I've been into this stuff since I was, 9, 10. I've wanted to record and use 4 tracks and stuff because it's cool. But yeah, a chance meeting on the train got me my first job. I was talking to a colleague opposite on a bank of 4 seats, and I was saying I bought this gear and I was really excited to get some recording done. This guy passed me his business card and said, we're looking for someone to do some recording. Come and work with us. And I was like, and that turned into like a 35 grand job.
Nice one.
Which was awesome.
Okay, so
yeah, I think what we're saying is word of mouth. Do it, and it's like the whole build it and they will come. If you are doing it, if you are actively, going to gigs, speaking to artists, don't charge a lot to start with. I mean, always charge, even just a little bit to cover expenses and time and things like that. But if you get working with people, so when those artists speak to their artist friends, say, oh, who recorded your demo? They can say, oh, so and so did it. He's really reasonable. Word of mouth is by far your best advertisement.
I'd agree with James. Apart from the charging thing, it depends on what sort of level you're at. So if you're at the level where you can do a great job and people want to come to you, I would say you can charge. I would say, especially in the hip hop world, I'd say he just needs to record as many people as possible and make as many mistakes as possible, and then know not to do those mistakes, because it is true, isn't it? It is the only way that I've ever learned. The only way that I've ever learned to do stuff is by making a mistake.
Get it wrong. Oh, totally. Oh, God, yeah. And anyone who's afraid to make mistakes doesn't learn, because you have to make mistakes, and you have to make. Nobody wants to hear this, but you have to make some expensive mistakes to really learn that you can't make mistakes when there's a really big important thing, and that's what keeps you on your toes and keeps you on your A game. I've made a couple of big, very, very expensive mistakes in my career. I don't wish to remake them. I'm a better person and a better engineer for making them.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more with you. Couldn't agree more. LDAG says, what's the link at David McQuillan? So David, you need to go to reverb.com and then look at the Highland Plectrum Company.
There we go.
I don't think David sells his plectrums off of any other website, or he didn't, but he might do now. I don't know. Lee Wild says, Happy New Year, fellas. Happy New Year, Lee. Hope Worthing's nice. Hollywood actress. So you guys seen all the posts on Instagram about PRS Silver Sky SE? What's your thoughts on it? A great move, and we'll sell at hotcakes. So yes, we're talking about that later on, actually.
Okay.
One of them
we'll come back to it.
50, no problem. No. It's all good. It's all good, isn't it? But it's because we get so many questions, and it takes me and James so long to answer them. We end up not knowing where we are. I don't know. Tell us what you mean, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll come back.
Richard Paul says, hi at Lake District.
Yeah, they're having a good old chat, aren't they?
Nice. Okay, good. How much was the Gambale guitar, James?
It was quite a lot, because I think there was some question of provenance whether he had actually owned it, so they wanted $2,500 for it.
I don't know. I'd struggle. I don't think that's worth $2,500.
I don't think it is. But
it's like an old gem. An old gem sells for like a lot of money, but they're crap as far as
but if an old gem was owned by Steve Vai, would it sell for more? Of course it would.
Oh, I see. Was it? It was actually owned by Gambale.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see.
I still think it's a lot of money. I mean, there's no help. I looked at it and went, "Oh, that's nice," and then when I haven't seen one of those in a while, and then started reading the, I went, "Oh, yeah."
I'm not sure he's a big enough name to actually command any. You'd have to be a fan, and I don't really. He's not one of those names that you see.
Because I was a Chick Corea, an uber Chick Corea fan through the Electric Band years. I am a massive Gambale fan. Right. Of his guitar playing, not his singing on his albums. It's hilarious. It's nearly as bad as Eric Johnson's singing, and his has got better.
Yeah,
that's going to make me unpopular, but hey.
Ron Siegel says, "Hi gents, heard anything about the PRS SE Silver Sky?" Yes, we have. We're talking about that in a minute. Actually,
we're on it.
Larry says, "Ampex is slated for release at NAMM June. You boys going over there, plague permitting?"
I can safely say I am not going this year because one, it's my children's birthday, early part of June. It's my wife's birthday, the early part of June, and I'd be turning down 2 weekends of work to go and spend money, and I can't afford to do that when I'm building a studio, which is a shame. And also because it's in June, prices for flights have gone the same way as flights.
Oh no, have they?
Because it's in June, and it's in June in California, and it's going to be gorgeous and lovely, and Disney will be absolutely heaving.
It's in California. They're not doing it in.
No, they're doing it. They're doing it in California.
Ah, that's a shame.
It is a shame.
I don't know yet. I was planning on going. I think.
Plague permitting is a big deal, because I don't know. Because after they opened all the borders and you had to just show a COVID passport, they then shut the borders again, and things have changed again and again and again. So it's a bit confusing as to what you can and can't do right now. But I don't think NAMM's going to be as big a deal this year as it has been in previous years. I don't think NAMM will be the same show for a good couple of years yet. It'll be great and it'll be amazing, but I don't see all the Chinese brands filling up Hall E anytime soon. Do you?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm going to miss seeing. I'm going to miss seeing those crappy PA speakers with all the lights on them. Keith says, "I'll repeat my original comment. Read Tokyo because it seems to have got lost." And then, maybe it's a bit down.
Yes, yeah. I think we'll get there in a minute. Yeah.
Okay. David says, "Cheers, guys. Always appreciate your kind words." Well, you make some fantastic stuff. Keep on playing. Says, "Hey, hello, mate. Did you block his
Certainly did. Yeah, I some rubbish.
Oh, okay.
Thing. Yeah.
Okay. Hear Yola sing. Who's Yola? I don't know. We don't know. But
Y-O-L-A Yola.
Nice. I'll have a look. I'll check out Yola.
Yeah.
Keep on playing. These songs are beautifully arranged. Thanks, mate.
Well, that is down to Paul, to be honest. They're his 30,000 guitar parts.
So just delete stuff until it starts to sound good. Bruce Brooks, 25 degrees in Florida, but highest COVID in US. I keep my cold. Damn, I want that guitar. I want his guitar.
Keep on playing. What are you after?
Paul, you're a master of tasty guitar arrangements. You really are. Oh, thanks, mate. That's very kind. Autogeddon 1, evening, gents. Love the channel and congrats on the 30k subs. What are your thoughts on swapping out pickups? If I'm looking for better clarity, does higher output matter? No, the opposite.
Absolutely the opposite.
The absolute opposite.
I'm a great believer in swapping out pickups. If the pickups you've got in don't sound like you want them to, I wouldn't start messing around with a 54 Les Paul too much. But if you
just keep the pickups, if you're going to do that, just keep them.
Did you look at changing the subject briefly? You know those pickups that were on the Hofner?
Oh yeah,
that you bought at the auction.
Yeah,
were they the ones that were worth about $1,000?
Yeah. Well, yes, but someone's trying to sell them for $1,000. Whether they'll get $1,000 from for some reason, you know that. Just in case the listeners don't know what we're talking about. So I did a video. James and I bought a couple of auctions ago at that Hooligate, whatever it's called.
Gardner Holgate.
Yeah. I bought a Hofner with it been butchered a bit, but anyway, it's got these pickups in there which are really sought after because I think they're the pickups that Joan Jett used.
Right. Okay.
And they don't make them anymore, and they're really rare, and apparently they're worth about $1,000 for a set. So at some point, I'm going to whip them out and sell them. Because that wasn't a bad buy, was it?
It wouldn't be a bad buy. Not 600 quid selling for $1,000. That's not bad going. That's the right sort of the right way around.
It wasn't 600 quid.
I thought it was.
No, it's two.
Oh, is it? Okay, but still.
Yeah. Next one.
Right.
Oh no, sorry. No. So let's go back. So we didn't finish. No. Sorry. Okay, so I always think it depends on the quality of the guitar. So if the guitar, there's certain times when it doesn't matter what pickups you're going to put in a guitar, it's always going to sound bad. It's never going to be a good guitar. So you've got to try and work out, is the guitar one of those guitars, or is it the pickups? So the way that I would test it out is to just turn down the volume of the guitar and just to see how resonant the guitar is. See if you like the sound of the guitar acoustically. If you like the sound of the guitar acoustically and it's got lots of sustain and clarity, then it's probably worth changing the pickups. But most of the time, and I've done this before, but I've changed pickups on a guitar and gone, doesn't sound any different.
I will caveat that by saying that when we changed the pickups on the Epiphone, oh my god, the difference! I can't wait for you to hear that guitar. I genuinely can't wait for you to hear the difference that guitar sounds now. You're gonna pick it up and go, actually, wow. Yeah, it sounds so good. Anywho.
Keith says, Luffs is like DBFS, except DBFS takes no account of overall loudness. Read the Bob Katz book. Do you know what? I've got the Bob Katz book. I read a couple of pages. I read a couple of pages and went, "This is not for me." It is so geeky. It is. Oh my god. That is bedtime reading. That is.
It's not. It is geeky, but I understand that stuff because of reading that book.
Yeah. I mean, I understand most of the stuff. I just don't understand Lufts and DBFS and all that sort of stuff. Anyway,
there's about a 15-minute delay because now we're getting all the oh my god, how didn't you know that OHSC stands for original hard shell case?
Original hard shell case, nice.
Jeff Rock, Bruce Brooks, Dave Brose are all coming in with hard shell case, blah blah blah. Yes, we know we're stupid. Sorry. Anyway.
I'd love to get some some footage of that guitar going over to Joe Bonamassa and Joe Bonamassa playing it. That would be great.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Would, yeah.
Where's he live? He must be is he in Los Angeles or is he?
He's got a few different houses. He's got one in New York, one in Los Angeles, and one in Nashville.
Nice.
Yes. He might have other houses, but they're the ones I know about.
Yeah.
He's got some money, isn't he? Michaeli says, I'm on the market for a Gretch hollow body guitar. My doubt is between a Korean 5420, do not break the bank, or going for the big shot Japanese 6120. I would. So here's a point. Here's a case in point when you'll probably notice a difference in pickups. So a lot of the Korean stuff doesn't actually come with TV Jones Filtrons, while the Japanese stuff does.
These are the pickups.
Yeah. So yeah, Filtrons on my one. I've got Filtrons on mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd try and push the budget and get a 6120. 6120. So should I go and get mine?
Is yours a 6120?
Sorry?
Is yours a 6120?
Yes, I think a 6120 is this shape.
Right.
Yes, it is a 6120.
There you go.
So that's 6120 shape.
That one does play very nicely. It doesn't. I don't think it plays like a big guitar. It plays really.
Yeah.
It plays like a normal. It doesn't feel any different, but it sounds great.
Yeah. Do you know? I prefer this guitar to my 335.
Wow.
Yeah, I personally think it's a better guitar.
Wow.
Yeah, I think these. I mean, these things sound amazing. Yeah, the great thing about these. So here's another case in point about pickups. Filtertrons. These are TV Jones ones in here. Yeah, they are TV Jones. They're not high output at all. So they've got loads of clarity. So even though they're humbuckers, they're really bright and they sound amazing. So I would love a telly with some Filtertrons in it.
It was funny because the first guitar I had with what you might term really high output pickups was my Eggle. The Eggle, the Eggle's got
it's got
Seymour Duncan's in it.
No, it hasn't. It's got
Armstrongs.
Kent Armstrongs.
No, it is Kent Armstrongs. But they're custom wound and they are so hot.
Are they?
You can't in humbucking mode. You cannot drive an amp clean. You cannot get it clean. You have to wind back the volume a little bit.
I don't think. I mean, I've played that guitar. I didn't think it was that hot. It's not like It's not hot like a modern hot pickup, which I hate. But that guitar sounded great. Your guitar sounded great.
But then if you want sort of clean Stratty, you click it into one of the coil tabs, and it sounds great. But if you want it on full bore, it sounds amazing. But they are quite high output, which I like. It sounds great. Anywho,
John Partridge. Hi guys. Hi John.
I will stop doing this at some point.
Keep on Playing says, Paul, do you think it's possible to make a YouTube topic on how to approach guitar arrangements and share your experience? That'd be very interesting. Every song listened to from you was well made. Thanks, mate. Yes, if you, I have already done that actually. If you go on to about a year ago, and I explained.
I thought you did one about how you layer up guitars and layer up different parts and different parts of the neck and stuff.
I've definitely done that. There's definitely a video on our YouTube channel where you will find it. If you go through all the videos, sorry, there's quite a few there now, but you will find it. You'll find it. But thank you for the compliment.
It's pushing 500 now, isn't it? 480, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Stephen James says, "Happy New Year, guys, and everyone."
Happy New Year to you and everyone.
I'll go back. I like looking at people's guitars. Go back. So you've got that. What's that? Is that a Gretch? Oh, that's one of the. What's it called?
It's slightly bigger than Les Paul Gretch, isn't it? I can't remember what they're called.
No. It's It's the White Falcon.
Is it
White Falcon? Yes.
Okay.
I think it is.
Nice. No, I thought White Falcon was bigger.
No, I think it's.
Dunno.
Maybe Stephen's like massive, and it just looks like. Jeff Rock. Sorry, I meant you'll make 50,000 subs, no problem. The curse of the chat leg. Thanks, mate. Oh, I see. Yes, he said 50. Yes.
Yeah.
Keith Milner says, "I'm seriously considering getting one of those traveller guitars, as I may be out of the country for a bit of work. Has anyone any experience?" I'm not a massive fan of travel guitars.
I've never tried. I think I've played one. I think I played one at a festival and went, "This isn't loud enough for a festival." Because the whole thing about a festival is you buy something for £100 and it gets destroyed and left in the field.
Yeah, sure. I would. Do you know what I think I would do? I think I would just, if you're out of the country, it depends if you're traveling from country to country to country and you're doing lots of plain,
buy one out there.
I think I'd do what James says. I'd go and buy a guitar out where you're going, providing it's James, can you do me a favor? Can you delete Hervey Caspar?
Yeah. That's going to go. Yes, don't worry. That's going to.
And bring it back, because I think it's probably worthwhile buying a decent guitar or spending the same amount of money you spend on travel guitar, and then just paying for it to go in a hold, or just trying to find a way of taking it,
or flog it when you're there before you come back. We used to do that on ships. We used to do that with TVs. Because bear in mind, when TVs were a tube, not when TVs were a flat panel.
Right.
So you'd go and you'd find, if you once you get to where you were going, if you want a TV in your cabin, because we didn't all have TVs in our cabin, you'd go to the local secondhand TV shop, buy a TV, and then before you got off the ship, you'd try and flog it to the person who you knew was coming to your cabin.
Oh, excellent.
So TVs weren't going backwards and forwards across the Atlantic; they were staying and just changing hands.
Nice.
Well, bit of insight there. I suspect it's changed a bit now, but crew cabins on some of the ships I was on were not great. Anyway.
Ron Siegel says Yola is a terrific English singer. Check her out. I will do. I'll check her out. Yeah.
Yola. Yes. Sorry.
Pet Moxie, how many super chats would it take to borrow you both for the day? So many questions to ask. I can cook authentic Indian. Oh my God, he can cook authentic Coach from scratch. Just saying.
Throw in a couple of bottles of Cobra, and I'm there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where are you in the world, Pat? Do we know?
I think we've asked Pet this before.
Basically, Pet, reach out to Paul via the Studio Rats website, the studiorats.net, and I'm sure there's a contact page on there, isn't there? There's a contact form.
There is.
Reach out to us that way, and I'm sure if you want us both for the day, I'm sure we can make it worth it in footage and stuff somehow. We'll make it work because it'll be fun. And curries and beer are always good as well.
Absolutely. Bruce Brooks, pickups. I have a Guild Custom Shop USA with Diamond Dynasonic single coil pickups. Cool. I think they sound amazing, like a P90, but slightly clearer and better definition and much quieter. Yes. Awesome.
That's my mission for the next auctions, a P90 guitar.
Yes, nice.
Or an SG.
Nice.
Those are my two.
I fancy an SG.
And some kind of Fendery-esque amp.
got a nice 2-rock for sale.
You do realize I, one, have a huge tax bill to pay at the end of this month, and two, am trying to build a shed.
Yes,
Yes,
I know, but I think the 2-rock will bring people to your studio.
No, it won't.
I think it would actually.
No, it won't.
Really? Okay.
No, it won't. The sort of people that are coming to my studio will probably not know what a 2-rock is. If I had a Marshall stack, that would be different.
Okay. Top Load Telly says, I took Bonamassa's advice and put a 31 band EQ in the effects loop of my PV Delta Blues 210. Shaping tone from the room and different guitars is now easy. Nice one. Yeah.
Great show.
Good move. David Bro says, I tried to read Ray Kurzweil's books 4 pages in. I knew I was out of my element. Yeah. There's certain, I mean, going back to the Bob Katz book, it is a good book, and I am joking. I did get through a lot of it, but it's hard reading.
There's some things you have to want to read, don't you?
Yeah.
I wanted to read that book.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn how I worked out how to do mastering without having to read it.
Yeah.
Bruce Brooks, Michaeli says, Bruce Brooks says to Michaeli, I've had both of those Gretches and they're actually quite similar. Like the difference between the USA and the made in Mexico Fenders. The 5420 is actually a great guitar. I would hardly recommend it. Well, they are.
There you go.
David Brose says, always hopes.
Mm-hmm.
And he also says, my picture is not a guitar, but I'm being touched by the greatest right index finger player in the world. Oh, that's interesting.
Right index finger player. I actually don't know who that is.
Oh, tell us who it is, David. You don't look like you like being touched by the greatest right index finger player in the world. You're trying to. He looks like he's about to lamp one.
So speaking about right index finger players and players, strange techniques and stuff. Over Christmas, my wife and I actually got down to sit down and watch some terrible TV. And one night late, we put the TV on, and Roadhouse was on, the Patrick Swayze movie.
Yes, with
whose is the band?
It's the blind guy. What's his name?
Jeff Healey.
Jeff Healey. What a player!
Oh my God, that film is worth watching just for the band.
It really is. It really is.
Kelly LeBrook, not Kelly Brook, that's someone else. Kelly
LeBrock. What old David Coverdale's ex-wife?
Yes,
or what?
yeah.
Is that her? Was that Kelly LeBrock?
I'm sure it's her. Yeah. Yes.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway, but no, I mean Jeff Healey. I actually then the next day did the whole Jeff Healey thing on Apple Music and went, oh my God, this guy was great.
Oh, he's so good. So bloody good. It's such a shame that he passed away, but such a player. Yeah, he's not talked about anymore.
No.
Keith says, last time I was working in Singapore, I bought a decent cheap guitar and gave it to a friend's kid when I left. Might do the same. I think that's the best way of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough guitars in Singapore, I'm sure.
There certainly are.
Actually, isn't Dan in Singapore?
He is, yeah. Well, we assume he is still.
Yeah, no, Dan is. Yeah, it is Singapore. If it's Dan's still out there, we might be able to hook you up with someone.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bruce Brooks says, Keith Milner, I have a Traveller Mod X. It's nice, but not great. Works well for vacations, but not sure for gigging. Doesn't stay in tune very well.
Which is definitely an issue I find with it. Staying in tune is an issue with a lot of expensive guitars, let alone ones that are designed to travel.
Especially Gibson style guitars, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, at Bruce Brooks, thanks. That's what I'll be looking for, or buy and rent something out there. Yeah, go and rent something nice. I'll probably be bouncing between Australia and Singapore for most of the year. Nice.
Interesting.
Nice. Lefty Mike says, I was watching Thomas on his channel and he said Amp X will cost $2,000. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, but could be well worth it, couldn't it?
We've got to. The thing is,
that puts it in a very exclusive club of amps, then, doesn't it?
It makes it into the more getting towards the boutique valve amp territory. That's quite. I mean, I know it's going to be amazing. It's going to do a lot. Well, it'd be interesting to see what it does. It'd be interesting to see what it does.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll sound great.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it will, without a doubt. Stephen James, it's a Chinese copy of a Gretch White Falcon. But I have an orange 6120. Nice. But use a 5420 Korean one. But upgrade pickups. The Brian Setzer TV Jones pickups. Great quality guitars for the price. Nice one. I wonder why Gretch dropped the 0 fret. It's a shame, really. Yeah, I think you can still get some of the older they have a range that it's like the Gibson True Historics, where it's like, they keep it in the original how they originally were, and I think they still do them. Jeff Rock says, just bought a couple of Highland Plectrums. Nice, one to use, one to lose.
Kelly Lynch, sorry, not
Lynch.
Kelly Lynch,
right.
Sorry, wrong name, but yeah, great film, just for the music.
Pat Moxie says Jeff Healy's version of Hoochie Coochie Man in Roadhouse is tremendous. What a sound!
Yeah,
so good, such a great player. Keep on playing. Worth to mention, I bought an Ibanez AZES 31 SSS fixed bridge for the living room because my kids. Incredible value, nice pickups, 9-way switch, incredible guitar for the money, €299. Nice.
And at this point, I think we should
Silver Sky SE. Can't wait to try it. Wow.
At that point, we should jump into gear news.
Can I show my gear?
Go on.
You haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
This turned up. I've had to unplug it to show for the show. But this turned up literally about an hour before we went on.
And he hadn't stopped playing it when he came online. And he now has a hernia. Wow, look at that.
Look at that. Look at its white sparkle. And it's heavy.
That is quite spectacular.
I've got the 2x12 to go with it. Oh, that's really done my wrist in.
Nice.
Oh, it's heavy. It's so heavy. Oh, hold on. Tuck it back in.
Very, very nice.
So, I'm doing a video on that tomorrow. Hold on.
So you've basically now got, in your shed of dreams, you've got 3 fairly well up the pecking order, beautiful
amplifier.
Amplifiers.
Amplifier. Yeah. So little. Oh, shall I leave it as a what I like the best?
No, you can tell us. You can definitely tell us.
So let's put it that way. That where is it?
There.
Two Rock. You can just see it. God, it's so weird doing
that way. That way, bit. That way.
The Two Rock is not going to be a keeper.
Interesting.
It's really good. It's a really, really good amplifier. Just not. I don't think it's me. So yes, I'm going to. Well, I think what I'm going to do with that is just put it up for, because I bought it secondhand, so I'm not going to lose money on it. And yeah, the matchless just is very good. The only thing about the matchless, hasn't got reverb.
Is that a deal breaker?
No, it's not a deal breaker. But anyway, there's I've got other thoughts on that, but I'll do a video on it and stuff. But
okay,
work on that.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes, and I've got the 2x12 with it's got a cream and a green in it. It's like
nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Good combination.
Yeah. Sounds great. Sounds really good. Okay. Oh yeah. Should we do what's coming out?
What's coming out?
Okay.
Now the funny thing about this moment is that you choose these often.
Yeah.
If I've found something, I'll say get this one up. But just so you all know watching that these are my reactions, my initial reactions to these things as well. It's not, we haven't planned this because Paul says to me, it's always funnier if your first reaction is genuine, which it absolutely is.
Yes.
So you ready?
Yes. Some of these are a bit, it isn't really new gear, but excuse me. So Fender CEO Andy Mooney says he is not optimistic that guitar and amp supply chain struggles will improve anytime soon. So yes, it's basically at the moment, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the it's just gone bonkers with the price of secondhand. It's like secondhand cars.
Yeah.
Cars have gone through the roof, and it's the same with instruments as well. And unfortunately, all the secondhand stuff is becoming really expensive because there's not a lot of. I mean, it takes ages. I mean, if you're looking for a particular guitar, say you're looking for a 335, you can almost guarantee that no one's got any 335s in stock at the moment in the UK. It's got that bad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's the case, but it was the case a few months ago. So here's what do you remember I said to you? I said, "Oh, you'll like that."
I like the one on the blue one. That's kind of. I'm not sure about the brownie goldy one. The through necks look pretty though.
Such a weirdo.
I'm not a weirdo. I just that is timber, isn't it?
That. Oh, look at that! God, that looks
like
It's a
Sir Pete Thorne. Yeah, very similar.
Well,
scroll down. Oh, that one's nice down there.
No. That's too metal for me. That's too.
Is that 7? That's a 7 as well, isn't it? That just scares me.
Don't like that. Oh, I quite like that.
That's quite pretty.
I quite like that. I think that really works with the Zebra pickups.
Not cheap though. Not it is an Ibanez premium. It's not a cheap one.
Yeah, no, it is their it's their top of the range. Oh, I don't like that. No, that's a no for me. Do you know what that looks like? Do you remember?
It looks like someone's marble worktop made into a guitar.
Yeah. It's too much. Do you remember? You might not remember this, James, but do you remember? Probably in the 90s, there was I think it was an Ibanez model called the Reb Beach. Reb Beach was a guitar player at a Winger, and he had
yeah.
And it had a cutaway. It had a cutaway around here.
I do remember that one. Yeah.
Okay, and it looks a little bit like that. That to me, I don't like that. I do not like that at all.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
I
bet they play beautifully though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. The new Ibanez's I think are really, really good. Yeah, just not for me.
When we go to NAMM, I always go over to the Ibanez booth and have a good look and go, these look great. Can I see myself playing one? Nah.
Yeah, me too.
The only Ibanez I've ever looked at and gone, I want one, was when John Petrucci was an Ibanez artist.
Yeah, that was all right, wasn't it?
With the kind of Picasso-esque finish, which I also was really cool.
I quite like that, to be honest. In the day, I don't know what to make of this. So KHDK, Electronics, and Scott Ian. Do you know who Scott Ian is?
No.
Anthrax guitar player.
Okay, right.
Okay, so they've teamed up for a pedal. I don't know. We're a little bit short on gear news this week. So
it is the first week of the year, isn't it? So it's not surprising that it's a bit short.
Yeah, but it's
most companies only been back to work 2 days.
Yeah. It's $250. It looks a bit pony, isn't it?
It's going to sound like Wasp in a Jar, isn't it?
I think it will sound like Wasp in a Jar. I think it will.
Quite literally, Wasp in a Jar, or Anthrax in a Jar.
Yeah, and then the big news this week is this.
Yes.
So now I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell the difference. If you showed me that guitar, it looks exactly the same.
I suspect the quality of timbers will be slightly different underneath the paintwork. They'll be perfectly, amazingly serviceable guitars.
But it looks exactly the same.
How much are they though? It's still a 4-figure guitar, isn't
it? Yes. So it's going to be just over $1,000.
Dollars.
Yeah,
still not a cheap guitar by any stretch. Just because it's got an SE badge on it, it's not the full tilt, full bananas PRS price, but it's still not a cheap guitar.
No, but then like the Music Man. What are the cheaper ones? The Silhouettes, whatever. Not Silhouettes. What they're called? You know ones. Those ones. Yeah,
The
Korean
the Squire equivalent of a Music Man. Or I see. I don't see that SE are a Squire equivalent to PRS.
No. You're
They're
right.
higher up. They're higher up the food chain than that.
They are. That you are right. Yeah. But they look great.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I know they're not made in the PRS factory, but
I like the pinky red one. That's quite nice.
Yeah, it's called Dragon Fruit.
That's nice. I like that.
I like that too. I really like that. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know, would you?
And at a gig, in the Dog and Duck on a Friday night, who's going to care?
Yeah, I think that's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, if you can get them because of the supply chain issues.
But look, even the tuning pegs are the same. It's exactly the same.
Yeah,
I don't know how they've done that. Great.
So here's one for you.
I'm coming out.
Oh, there he goes. So here's one for you. With the delayed NAM from in a couple of weeks' time to June.
Yep.
Do we think that companies will be sitting on their new products and not releasing them in January like they normally would?
Yeah, I do.
See, I'm not so sure because I think the NAM delay was quite late in the development cycle for guitars and certainly for high tech. I'm wondering if companies will be doing a release in a couple of weeks' time of some what would have been NAM tech. It was only 6 months ago, and it takes longer than that to develop new products.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. The other thing we didn't really talk about last week, and some our hits and our misses from 2021.
Yes, we didn't, did we?
No,
I wrote them down somewhere. Where did I write them down? Yeah, well done. Completely forgot about that.
Yes.
Should we do that?
Let's do some of that. Yeah.
We've
got no pictures or anything like that because we're not that organised.
Okay. I've got a video. I've done a video actually. I've done a video of my favourite piece of gear of 2021.
Yeah.
That I was going to release tomorrow, but I might do the matches video tomorrow. I might shoot the video and release it tomorrow.
Okay. So let's go for misses first. What was we'll go 3, 2, 1, and we'll both say what the biggest miss, what the biggest of 2021 was. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hold on. Okay, just before you say it, it's funny because someone's mentioned something. Someone asked a question about it as well. But anyway, yes.
So 3, 2, 1. Quad Cortex.
Biggest miss of 2021.
Such a shame. Such a shame.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. So Aaron, we'll come down to Aaron's.
I'll jump into Aaron's question there because I can.
Yeah, try not to. We don't want to miss anything.
No, we won't. Don't worry.
Aaron says, "What happened to the Quad Cortex in the end? Do you recommend it or not?" I think it's not for us. It wasn't for us. I think both of us.
It's brilliant, but even the first day I got it out of the box, plugged it in, and went, oh. And that is not the out of the box experience was amazing. It looked beautiful. Everything was amazing.
Yeah.
But I plugged it in and I plugged in some headphones and went, this isn't as good as I was hoping it'd be for 1,500 quid.
Yeah. Same with me. I think some things are really good about it. And there's some things I really liked about it. The thing that made me change my mind is that I turned it off for a couple of weeks, and I was doing some amp stuff. I might even have been sent over an amp 1, the Blue Guitar amp 1, and I was playing on that a lot. And then it was that actually, definitely was the amp 1. And then I plugged in the Quad Cortex after playing a couple of weeks playing amps, some of my valve amps and stuff, and went, right, I cannot even bomb with this now. Yeah. And that's what made me sell it. Because it just doesn't. If you want anyone else to tell the difference, it's fantastic. It's the way that it plays that for me just doesn't work.
There's a latency. There is definitely it's not as obvious as
no,
but there is a latency, and you don't get it with other processors.
Well,
It's doing.
You do. I think you do with certain ones, but
not with all of them.
No.
Okay, other misses. Have you got any more?
I can't think of any other misses for me. You got anything?
I'm looking around, going. There must be something. There must be something I've bought and gone. It's gone straight out the door.
Sent back. There was nothing that we didn't. That we just went. No, we're not going to review that. Or I said we're not going to. I'm not going to review that.
I mean, obviously, the hilarious one was the backwards and forwards with the Bugera.
Oh, the Bugera, that was definitely a miss.
But that was 299 quid, so you can't really.
God, that was a miss. God, that was the biggest miss for me. That was horrible. That thing.
It was, it was not very nice. Sorry, Bugera, but no, it wasn't.
Well, let's go positive and talk about the hits.
Okay, you go first.
And for me, it's not just about what was released in 2021. I think some of the gear that we tried in 2021.
For me, one of the biggest hits has been the Gardner Holgate auctions.
Oh, that's good.
Because I've bought 5 guitars this year.
Wow.
5 guitars from there that I wouldn't normally have bought.
The only thing I think now about it is everyone knows about it. Everyone knows about it. So I don't think the deals are there to be had anymore.
I didn't do too badly last time.
No, you didn't. That's true. You didn't actually.
I think like it's a bit like it's like very much like gambling, and a bit like, you know, it's the thrill of the chase. You've got to stick to your guns. If you go too high, you know, legally you've got to pay for it. You've got to stick to your guns and go, no, that's too high. That's too high.
Yeah.
What wins for you?
So go through my list.
Go on then. Go on, fire away.
Blue Guitar 1.
Yeah.
Boss IR200.
Nice.
Boss Wazza Air.
The headphones.
Now, as I said, these aren't necessarily the things that came out in 2021. These are the things
we've tried and played with.
Yeah, things I've tried. My Les Paul Gold Top.
Nice.
ES335.
Yeah.
PRS McSoapy, the P90 PRS.
Yeah.
And another PRS, the Silver Sky for me.
Yeah. So I'm going to add to the PRS fanboyness the Swamp Ash Special.
Nice. Yeah.
That's an awesome guitar and it comes out all the time. The Iron Gear pickups on my Epiphone sound amazing.
Right.
The Jaguar that I picked up, the Japanese Jaguar that I picked up in the last two ago, that's an amazing guitar. I know it's not very guitar-y, but it's probably made the biggest difference to my actual functionality in the studio. The Galaxy 32, the Antelope interface, it is mind-bendingly brilliant. And actually, do you know, as well, I think it's more. I've had it more than a year, but I've probably only got to grips with it really in the last year. Is the Alpha Omega, the Dark Glass bass amp?
Oh yeah,
my god, that thing sounds good.
Yeah, that thing does sound good.
Sounds really fruity.
Should we do a few more? Should we do a few more questions?
Let's dive into a few more of these questions.
Might need to go back.
We are in the right place. Don't worry.
Okay. Bruce Brooks says Jeff Healey is the epitome of the sound is in your fingers, not the gear, without a doubt. God, he was
absolutely yes.
Just the way he played as well, just so good. Keep on playing says woohoo, matches incoming. Congrats, Paul. Thanks, mate. Now Paul goes straight to the wheelchair. Yes, it's very valve amps are heavy, aren't they? Big old.
They are good ones.
Yeah. Mind you, no, that Bugera weighed a lot as well, and that definitely wasn't a good one.
No, that's true.
Yeah, Keith Miller says 9-way switch.
Yes, I was a bit confused about a 9-way, 5-way maybe, but 9. Who knows?
It's SSS as well. 3 single coils and a 9-way switch.
Yeah,
what's that now?
Who knows?
David Brose says, "Nice, Paul. Play a humbucker guitar into that match this for us. We'll do."
In the demo video, because for some reason I still need to contact StreamYard, but they do some crazy stuff to the compression to make it super low latency, but it's not very broadband. It's fine for voice.
Oh, guitar
but
stuff.
It doesn't sound good for guitar and broadband stuff. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Also, Geddon One says, apologies, had to step out for a few minutes. I bought some Iron Gear steel foundries for my telly. I went for overwound instead of standard and wondered if it makes a huge difference. On a telly pickup, well, do you know what? I bought a recently, I had a Friedman guitar and I bought a Seymour Duncan, was it a quarter pounder? Which is a high output single coil.
Yeah.
It sounded absolutely shite. It was one of the worst pickups I've ever heard in my life because it had no clarity. It was just rubbish. So I don't know about the Iron Gear, the overwound stuff, but I would always go underwound.
But certainly those Iron Gears that I've put in that sound amazing. I would
but
if that's Iron Gear's quality of pickups, then certainly I'd have no problem recommending them. Almost to the point where I'm tempted to rip the standard pickups out of my Gibson, my Les Paul Studio, and put a pair of those in.
Nice, yeah.
Very tempted to do that for 80 quid, whatever it costs.
Yeah, do that. Hey, that'd be a good video. Your Les Paul Studio over my custom shop seat to see what the difference is.
All right, well, I'll bring it over. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's not a bad shout because they are very different in price.
Very different price, yeah. I would always go for underwound pickups. but maybe they're not that overwound and they've still got clarity. I don't know what happened with this Seymour Duncan. It was horrible.
Interesting. There's some chatting going on amongst themselves about prices for the
but $850, that's good.
That is good.
Yeah, that's good.
About 700 quid thereabouts.
Yeah, but it doesn't relate to selling them in England. It'll end up being £850, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't relate like that.
Not anymore.
Unfortunately, yeah. Aaron Short Music says, I'm going to compare the SE to the USA and keep one of them. Nice one. That'd be a really good video. That would be such a good video. Yeah, I'd like to get hold of the SE to do the same. Mike Aiton, evening all. Just got in from drive from Chichester. I love Chichester. Waves at you on the A3 pool. Oh, nice. Oh, I see.
He waved. Yes.
I get it. Thanks, mate. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Nothing to do with pickup. Nothing to do with plugins, mate.
I'll wave back. A3's over that sort of direction.
Yeah. All
right. Keith Milner. I need to try one, but SSSE might be an upgrade to my GNL Legacy Tribute. Nice. Keep on playing. Yes, a 9-way switch, string through body, very resonant, lots of sustain. Maybe Paul will do a review. Best inexpensive gear, I guess. Nice.
I still think we should get one of those. What are the ones that pumping out the ones that everyone was raving about a couple of weeks ago? The like $250 guitars. Jet.
The Jet, yes.
I think I might have to. Yeah, I might have to invest.
Well, if you're buying guitars for your kids, that might be
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Keith Milner says it's Anthrax will sound like 10 wasps in a jar. Yeah.
If it was Wasp, surely then it would sound like Wasp in a jar.
That was the first ever gig I went to was Wasp.
Wasp, wow.
Jesus.
Wasn't the singer from Wasp the guy who strapped a firework to his codpiece and set his balls on fire?
Yes. It was the 80s. Jeff Rock, I've got an old Sir Classic S with a Red Beach profile neck on it. It's tiny, like a lollipop stick with a rosewood fretboard glued to it. Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Chunky. See, I always think so. Going back to Bruce's comment about his, the big thick neck on a Les Paul. For me, I think a thick neck is like that's where tone comes from. I always find guitars with thinner necks tend to lack tone.
I like. Do you know? I don't think I know if I like a thin or a thick neck. I don't really think I care that much.
On women or on guitars?
Yes.
Yes. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It's $850. Amazing price. Yes, that is good. My SE Hollowbody 2 Piezo in black gold is awesome. Nice.
Yeah, the SE stuff's great. Sterling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh dear.
I knew it began with an S.
Yeah.
I ordered a dragon fruit. £7. Nice. Hey, that's good. That's a good weight. That's a really nice weight. I would have thought. See, I would have thought because they're the cheaper end, they'd be heavy. But £7, that's nice. Keith Milner says, if NAM is delayed, what sort of delay is it? Analog tissue or tape? Very good. Very good.
Well done.
What do you think about Wild Custom Guitar? Hold on. No. Well, we can do this, can't we?
We can.
Hold on.
We often do this, and it's quite.
I think we talked about Wild Custom Guitar before. Yeah, give me 2 secs.
Yeah, I can see you typing.
Need to spell. Look. Go on then.
Whoa.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is how I remember. I tell you what, Billy Gibbons, he does get and he knows about an endorsement, doesn't he?
He'd sell cat food given the chance.
He's like Jordan
Rudess.
Okay. So yes, Wild Custom. So Wild Custom do this rotary.
The thing with the rotary pickup. Yeah. Yes. I kind of like the idea, but it looks quite a hard thing to do to a guitar.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh my god, they do a few. Let's go Wild TV. Okay, so they don't. They're not all the rotary pickups.
I like the wooden. I like the wooden one there. That's quite cool. There's like the burn, that sort of burn offering. That one.
That one.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that in a weird sort of way.
Absolutely. Okay.
Not cheap though.
They're not cheap, are they?
Oh, Bigsby's nice. That is nice. Actually, I quite like the Paisley Telly as well. That's lovely.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't like that.
Bit weird.
No. It's like an Iceman, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit like that. Wildmaster.
No. That's very Burns. The guitar company, not Mr.
Yes. Look at that.
Look at that one. Look at the Eleanor.
Oh, look at them. Aren't they cool? The only thing is, I bet that's a. God, you can't. Can you click on it? I reckon that's a bugger to play with that funny bridge.
Yeah, I bet that's quite challenging. I bet it's also bloody expensive.
How much is it? Oh! That's not even custom shop. Let's check the custom shops. Oh, look at that. That's nice.
Oh. That one's not going to work. I haven't got any frets on it. I know it's a bass. That's the other thing I want this year, a fretless bass.
Do you? Oh, no. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. It's wrong.
What's wrong with that?
What, fretless bass?
Wow.
It's not the 80s, and you're not, and you know, it's not Paul Young.
My surname's not Palladino.
Yeah, no, don't do it.
No, I love a fretless bass.
Yeah, lots of cool guitars. I really like that. I really like them.
I like some of them. I don't like all of them. But hey, that's the wonderful thing about opinions.
Yeah, not cheap. Nice though. Aaron Schultz says, I think the gear is going to spill out. Excuse me.
Keeping you up?
Oh, the dog was. I think the gear is going to spill out all month. It started already. Some companies will save big releases for summer NAMM. Yes. Excellent.
See, I don't know if there's going to be a summer NAMM, as in August, as well as a June NAMM in California. I don't think they'd do two like that. No, I don't think they would.
I don't think they will.
Which is a shame, because if they did a summer NAMM, I'd be far more tempted to go. Because August is much easier for me to get time away.
Yes.
Middle of school holidays. Oh, that'd go down well, wouldn't it? I'm just off to that America for a week.
Yeah. David Bro says the 2020-21 miss was pulled by that 2-rod. I don't think it's a miss. I think it's a brilliant amp. It's just not. It sounds fantastic. I was playing it this morning, waiting for the matches to turn up because it was supposed to turn up early and it didn't. Mm-hmm. And it is absolutely fantastic. If you want to sound like, you know that Mark Knopfler sound.
Yes.
It just does that sort of loads of sustain, loads of clarity, clean sound.
Yeah.
And it's the best amp for that. For me, I don't think I would use it enough for that.
Well, if it was $1,000, would you keep it?
If it was $1,000, would I keep it? That's interesting. Yes, I would.
Because I think, having that very distinctive sound at a price, that quality at a price is amazing. But at 2.5, 3.5, 4.
No, it's four. The head. If you buy them new, the head is £4,700.
That is a lot of money for one tone that you like.
Yeah. Yes, and it's not the tone that I would always. I reckon I'd use it once a year.
That's a lot of money invested in one tone.
Yeah, and the funny thing is you do see it's like everyone that does reviews on YouTube, it's like playing John Mayer riffs. It's that John Mayer sound. It's that sort of continuum sort of guitar sound, and it's a fantastic sound. I just like a little bit of drive on my sound.
Yes.
LDAG says, Paul and James, what happened to Gordon Smith guitars? I think they're still going. Are they still trading as Gordon Smith? As far as I know, Jeff Rock, keep going, because
I'm getting there.
So Jeff Rock says Alden Guitars bought Gordon Smith a few years back. John and Linda retired. As far as I know, they're still called Gordon Smith because they released a couple of models a few months back, 6 months back. Richard's Guitars still sells Gordon Smith. Nice. LDAG says, thank Jeff Rock and Keith Milner. K. Michael P. My Mrs. Christine.
Not sure I get that, but hey.
No, there was something. There was a question. Anyway, yes.
There wasn't.
Yes.
It wasn't.
Let's know what you mean.
Yeah.
Safey says, Fave plugin discovered this year. Precision K stereo. Well, how it widens the stereo image. Favorite compressor pedal, Electrode LA1A. Too professional for my level, but way too much fun. Nice. LA1A. I guess it's a LA2A in pedal form.
Yeah.
They didn't do. They didn't do an LA1A, did they? Teletronics.
There's an LA3A.
Yeah, but not a 1A. There must have been a 1A. There must have been.
Yeah. This is one of those things. Do you remember a couple of years ago, UA, not Last NAMM, because Last NAMM was all about Luna. The year before, they announced their custom shop. Yeah.
Which is basically their hardware. It's just what they call their hardware department now, as opposed to.
Is that all it is? I thought it was only like real kind of boot. No. If they make like an LA2A, they might make a custom shop LA2A, which is like super boutiquey parts or super.
No, I think they were selling so little hardware, like 1176s, LA2As, that sort of stuff, that I think it's become its own thing, and they call it the custom shop. I don't know why. Maybe it was a tax thing.
Don't know. That sounds a bit weak.
Yeah, I agree.
A bit weak. I expected more.
Yes,
but I expected more from Avid in their "We Are for Music" campaign, and that died as soon as Louis Fernandez Jr. got out the door. Moving on.
Talk about Fernandez. Sergio Fernandez, Baranada. What do you think about dual rail single coil sized humbuckers? Are they any good? The only time that I've heard dual rails where I've liked them,
Yannick Gur's Strat from Iron Maiden has a dual rail in the bridge.
They are then. I really liked Seymour Duncan made a Jeff Beck Jr. and that's a single coil size humbucker. I put that in a strap.
I think that's what could be in. I think that's what they could use. It sounds amazing, but it's a one trick. It's a one trick pony. I think.
Yeah, the rail pickups though. I've never been a fan of rail pickups. Like, who used to make them? Who invented the rails? I love this. We ask these questions and then someone
we don't know the answers. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of rail pickups, but yes, I'm sure. I think it's worth trying. Joe Bananas says, Happy New Year's. Any thoughts on Fisherman's Fluence pickups? Yes. So they're telly pickups, the Greg Koch, which I've got. I've got the Reverend Greg Koch guitar, and it's absolutely amazing sounding pickups. Some of my favorite pickups, actually. Now, the humbuckers to me are a little bit metal. So we're probably not the best people to ask on that. And they're now doing P90s as well, which is another Greg Koch one, I think. But the single coils are just ridiculously good. And and don't think just because they say they're silent pickups, they make everything quiet. They don't.
They don't.
No. John Wallace says, I have Fisherman single coil pickups, and they have the option to switch between under normal wound and overwound pickup sounds. Oh, interesting. Both modes are great sounding. That's interesting.
Interesting. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's great.
Like that. Like the sound of that.
Pet says, is there a particular hallelujah moment you both had with your guitar playing, making you wish you could have had a DeLorean to go back with Doc Marty and implement that technique earlier?
Oh,
I think there is, for me.
I think I wished I'd heard of Gary Moore 10 years before I did. Because so much of my playing, my playing style is basically a mix of the people that I listened to when I was a kid. Gary Moore, Eric Clapton, Eric Johnson. I wish. That's the way I think. Not necessarily what comes at my fingers, but that's the way I think. I think there's a big moment that you realize when you go, so that works and that works in the same key, and if I can get between those two positions, that gives me more notes to play with in a solo. There's definitely a moment where you go, major pentatonic, minor pentatonic can both work, and if you can get between the two of them, go, that this is cool. This sounds interesting. This makes my solo sound cool, not just like I'm going. It sounds boring.
Now that actually might be worth explaining, like relative majors and minors, because that's quite. Let me bring this down a little bit. So I think I know what you're saying by this. So if you've got like a minor pentatonic. Hold on.
There it is. I was thinking.
That'll do. It'll do for jazz anyway. Okay, minor pentatonic. Major pentatonic. Okay. So there's two different ways of looking. Actually, I need to do a video on this. A whole video.
We should. Yeah.
But if you think like the relative majors and minors, so A minor and C major.
Yeah.
Now the same notes are in A minor are in C major. So C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Yep.
In A minor, if I start from the third note, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It's exactly the same notes.
Yeah.
So if if someone says
if the tune you're playing is in A minor,
yep,
you can also solo around what I would call a C position pentatonic,
exactly,
and all notes work. And if you can get between those two positions, which you can with one slide, that's a major revelation in guitar playing. Otherwise, you're trying to find that kind of A minor box section at the 5th fret. You're then playing that kind of E stroke A around the 12th fret, and you've got nothing to get between easily.
Yeah.
Whereas, do you know what I mean? Do you know where I'm going with that roughly?
Yeah, definitely. And I think taking that point, finding the same patterns in different positions. So
yeah,
I mean, I might be talking here, and everyone's going, "Oh yeah, we all know that."
No,
anyway.
but that for me, that was a major revelation in playing, to be able to go, right, I've got a set number of notes that I will, a set like patterns and positions that will work in on fret 5, fret 8, fret 12. That's a big range of notes to be able to work out a solo and not get lost.
I think one of those things, I've got, God, I could go on all night about all this sort of stuff, but sort of on what you're saying, finding patterns and then playing those patterns on different strings. So, for instance, so my guitar. Another thing for me is mixing minor and major to create that. I always wondered, or there was a point before where I couldn't quite work out where that proper blues sound came from.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is like think of it like a BB King thing.
Yeah,
that sort of thing, and then realizing that you can play the same. You can play like a major chord. Let's say a dominant 7 chord.
Yep.
And then play a minor pentatonic over that.
Yep.
And that is how you get the blues sound, as opposed to playing a major pentatonic over it.
Yeah.
One more thing. I've got loads of these sort of stuff, but how to play fast and how to play fast. Finding ways of playing fast that is easy on your picking hand.
Definitely.
And 6 note patterns for me. So
yep.
if I play it slowly, something like, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then repeating it, because what you're doing is you're starting with a downstroke, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now your hand's already in that in that position, so my next move is going to be down, up, down, up, down, up. So if you do these 6 note strings, if you double it, for some reason I find it easier, so I can go. And it's so much easier than just playing, and I don't know why.
I think there's a video on these on kind of soloing tricks and get out of jail free cards and things like that, which actually we could probably do together, because I think sometimes we approach patterns and things quite differently. It's funny because someone said to me a long time ago, your solos are rhythmically quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have the fingers to be able to go blah, 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 blah. But I also approach soloing from a drummer's perspective. So for me, it's all about interesting rhythms. It's not about how many notes I can play. Because I can't play it.
Sure.
I'm not good enough. So there's probably an interesting video about blues soloing or something like that. Something we can come up with a title for it later on. But thanks, Pat. That might hand us in the right an interesting direction.
Good one.
Where are we? Here we
go. Keith Milner says those wild custom guitars look like something Genesis would have played in the 1980s. They do a bit. I know what you mean. The others look better. Yes,
some of them look crazy.
The Nature, that's a new name. Hello, I'm French. What cabinet with Jubilee 2525H for playing at home? I love hot sound. Thanks. Okay. It's the problem is you're saying playing at home.
Yeah.
And even the 2525 is so loud. And to make it sound good,
you've got to give it the beans.
You've got to give it the beans.
My advice would be get a 1x12, get something really nice in it, like a greenback or a creamback or something like that. and get a load box so you can drive the amp nice and hard, and enjoy it sounding like the power amp driven nice and hard, then attenuate it back.
Yeah, because it does. The Jubilee, the 2525H or the C, they sound great. It's a really great sounding thing, but you've got to drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Rock says, "Are you going to try and match this with the Katana?" Probably not. I tell you what, though, I reckon I do reckon it would be one of those things. It is like that that diminishing level of returns.
Yeah. I've got a really good matchless preset, a stereo matchless preset on the 11 rack, and it probably sounds nothing like a matchless, but the number of times I've used that preset and then tweaked it a bit for certain tracks, it sounds so good.
Yeah, great. Yeah, nice one.
Hence, when you said you get a matchless, I was like, oh, I've got to try that. And of course, it's your favorite guitar player's one of his favorite amps. Tim Pierce.
Oh, Tim Pierce playing matchless. See,
he's
probably got a different one to this. I don't think he's got one of these. Do you know who was the this one's called the Independence 35, and it was not code. It wasn't designed by, but the guy out of Maroon 5 it was his amp. It was his.
Not
suggestion.
A guitar player known for his soloing.
Oh no, he's good. A really good guitar player, actually.
Not the guitar. I mean, Maroon 5 Songs About Jane was a guitar album.
Yeah, it
was. Since then, they haven't been.
You're right. You're so right. You're so right. That Songs About Jane, that was a great album, wasn't it? Or a lot.
Brilliant. There were a lot of hits on that album.
Yeah, they're really good. Especially the first song. What was the first song called?
This love is taking its toll.
No, that was second.
Oh,
that's it.
That's yeah, great hook. Yeah,
really
actually, that whole album's it's like Jagged Little Pill is another seminal albums that have got there's very few bad tracks on there. There's no fillers.
Don't you listen to Jagged Little Pill now and go, oh, that's rough.
Yes,
such a rough sounding album.
Actually, another one of my childhood favorite albums was Gloria Estefan Cuts Both Ways, and there's distortion all over that because it was a very early digitally recorded album.
Oh,
it's so much distortion on it. But hey, Gloria Estefan back then was hot. I'm not quite sure what this means, but
80s style, maybe on those guitars.
Yes, more than likely. Yes, yeah.
Keith Milner says, when I was buying a fretless bass a few whiles back at Anderton's, they had an amazing second-hand fretless bass in the store with a rubber fretboard.
Oh wow! That sounds kind of cool.
A rubber fretboard.
Wow!
Oh no, it's just not no.
No, I really like. No, I like the sound because I like playing it because I can play bass. I can get my way around a bass for jazz stuff and for walking bass things like that. And I like the fact that I can just go boom, 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 boom. It's a cool thing to throw into a track, something to make it a bit different.
I do think they sound great. But they're so out of fashion.
But overused, yes. Yeah. I mean that what's the Wherever I Lay My Hat is the famous pop.
It's great though. That was great.
It's a great that and what's the other one? What's the you can say me by don't care how you get here, just get here if you can. Yeah. That's all fretless bass. It's beautiful.
I think that was Pino. I think that was Pino's album.
Probably, yeah.
Did everything, didn't he?
Yeah, still does.
Keith Milner says, I had to play it and it was awesome, but out of my comfort zone and price.
Yes. Weird stuff generally has a price tag to go with it.
Aaron Shook Music by Summer Nam, Anaheim.
Yes. Yeah, so do we. Yeah.
Yeah. Keith, mistyped that. I wasn't buying a fretless bass. I was buying a normal 4-string beginner bass.
All right. Okay.
Nice.
I might have said this last week. My stepmom bought my cousin's child. No, my brother's child.
Your nephew.
My nephew, a P trumpet for Christmas, a plastic trumpet.
Oh, nice.
One of these beginner ones. Oh, and nice. Actually, my dad picked it up and went, he said, sounds right, doesn't it? I said, yeah, it doesn't sound bad actually for Like,
Wow.
they're not inexpensive, but they're not mega expensive. I nearly bought a P trombone for the studio just to have it in the corner so I could pick it up and go every so often.
Nice one. Blame beverage, nice one.
Always.
David Bro says my picture, by the way, is Eddie Van Halen. Best.
Really? Doesn't look.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like him.
He looks like he's having a go at him.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Nice. Great. Awesome.
Nice. A. Ahmed says Happy New Year. Happy New Year, mate. Bruce Brooks says, Paul, I'm sure I can build you an exact 2-rock clone for half that price. Won't be my first build. Ran my own amp repair shop for years. Nice one.
Interesting.
Oh, that Bruce, you should do it. You should build amps, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, Bruce, you might actually then be able to answer a few questions because when Greg was on last week, we were talking about the Tube Amp Doctor amps and the custom build your own clone for €700 or whatever. But then we said before, I said, I'm thinking about doing it. He said, yeah, but you do realize the voltage coming out of the transformers to run valves is death territory if you get it wrong. And I was like, yeah. So maybe advice on that one, please. Anything you want to throw my way as a don't do this, just to maintain the number of digits and the number of anything stupid that I should do or not do to avoid death.
Possibly an offline conversation, but yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
K. Michael P says my Katana Mark 100 has many great tones and at $200. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Interestingly,
Keith Milner, Bruce Brooks Electronics isn't magic after all.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't want to die.
DMAC Jeff Healy band doing as the years go passing by at 1995 Stuttgart Jazz Fest is a great performance clip worth checking out. Nice one. We'll do that. I'll check that out. Any more?
Hang on, we've got a few more.
The Nature, where do you live? England, USA. If you're talking to us, we are James and I are both English. We're both in
England. I am about 45 miles north of London in a little market town called Great Dunmow.
And I'm about 30 miles outside London, south of London.
In the great mud-walled city of...
Mudwall. It is at the moment.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Keith Milner, K. Michael P got it, but I think the lag spoilt the joke.
Yes, I think there's a bit of that going on right now. I'm cutting out the ones that I don't really understand, if I'm honest.
Okay. Bruce says, Sergio Fernandez, Berenda, check out Seymour Duncan SL59 pickups. I've used them often, and they're excellent. Yes, I've heard a lot of good things about SL59s. Keith went over their heads. I'm an old Southern boy with a dry sense of humour. I'm sure. Yeah, no, it's just that lag, K. Michael P.
Yes,
it's the lag between us getting questions and trying to think about other people's questions.
Yes,
it's such a shame. Safety says, do you think boutique manufacturers are now earning their name in the market? They do not have to have a ton of supply to push tons of products, and the quality looks more prioritized. Yeah, I think it's much easier for a company to come out and like a boutique company and because of the internet and to sell their stuff and to get influencers to play it, and it's great. I think it's good. It's good. I like that. It's nice now that you have got more choice than just Marshall and Fender and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of having. I'm a great believer in having a thing that is for me. That other people don't have to like it. Obviously, my studio, as we've said before, is different to yours because mine is somewhere where other people can come to. There are a few things in here that people aren't touching, ever. But generally, my place is will be for people to come to and make music. I will be using it for that purpose myself as well, but it will be a bit of a more commercial facility than yours. So my gear is generally for other people to use, and it doesn't have to be particularly boutique. There's a few pieces that I've got that I would put in the very boutique, that they are for me because I like them and I enjoy them, and it doesn't matter if no one else is ever going to use it because it's a me thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. Martin Collier says Malmsteen pickup stacked humbuckers. I didn't know that. I thought they were soon coils. Yeah, sound clean and great. Yes, he's got a really good. He's got really good tone that's very recognisable,
and technique as well to go along with it. Very clean picking, and no matter what you think about melodic and harmonic minors, it doesn't really matter. It's just
yeah. No, he's very talented, man.
Mm.
The Nature, do you know this? The French guitarist Tristan Klein? No, we don't. I've never heard of him.
I know the name actually. Yeah. Why do I know the name? I can't think. I'll dig him out. Not literally.
Keith says yes. A video on tonality would be great. Bruce James, major pentatonic mix of minor pentatonic. I think Clapton.
Yeah, totally. That's one of my major guitar influences as growing up. You know.
On YouTube, yes, I'll have a look. Actually, the Nature, yeah, we'll check out Tristan Klein.
Yes.
Keith says if you can suggest some exercises, that'll be the icing on the cake.
Maybe a video on some finger exercises would be good.
Yes. Do you know what I thought that someone asked last week. I don't know who it was. I'm just going to show it actually, because I think it's. You know, like we were talking with Greg last week about warm-up exercises. Someone was talking about warm-up exercises.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show this one because I think it's a good one. And this really helped my picking quite a lot, which is so it's building diagonals down the neck. It's a bit like Greg's one. I think Greg was sort of doing this, string thing. But three finger thing. Yeah. Now, my one is start with the first finger, play the second finger, then go down to the next string. So it's this exercise which goes. So you're building these diagonals up the neck. I messed one up there, but and alternate picking, which really helps out. That really helped my picking.
Interesting. I mean, but you must find that you end up doing the same licks and the same.
Yeah,
we all do. We all do. I mean, that's why when I'm doing solos for client work, I actually I'll noodle for a good few minutes over a solo, and something will start to come, and then I'll actually craft the solo as I'm going along. I won't just noodle and go, that's close enough. I'll actually think about what I'm doing rather than just going, splamming a load of stuff out.
I think especially on YouTube videos, you tend to play the same stuff because there's no reference. You're not playing over something. You're just going widdly, widdly, widdly. Here's how it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keith Milner, understand it, but implementing it, I struggle with. Yes.
Agreed.
I'll do a little video on it because I think there's a really great little. I'm going to do it. What's up?
Next comment.
Okay. Is this a Rick Beato moment? Yes. There's a really interesting, like this little blues riff. I think I might do a video on this. You know that blues riff I just played? That
Yeah.
Now you can play that riff and keep it sounding really interesting over the 1-4-5 change. So
yeah.
So if you did it like okay.
Yeah.
Play the same riff.
Yeah.
And then you can end it slightly different.
Yeah.
And it's really simple because you can do a whole solo just by playing a few notes.
Yeah.
And it just sounds, for me, that to me is like a really nice sounding thing.
Yeah, simple is always the way forward.
Yeah.
Mainly because I can't do complicated.
Oh, hey, this is interesting. Dwayne Allman on slide. I listened to the Allman Brothers the other day because I promised that we would.
Yeah.
I wasn't that keen, to be honest.
I know it's funny because
I know I'm going to be slated for that.
I put some Allman Brothers on in the kitchen yesterday. I went, I quite like this, mainly because it started with Jessica.
Oh, okay. I didn't check out Jessica.
Well,
but
you know Jessica, don't you?
No.
You do. The Top Gear theme.
Oh, is that Jessica? Is that what that is?
That's the Allman Brothers, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That one. Yeah. No, I like that. Sorry, yes. So yes, no, I like that one. It all felt a little bit like when you listen to, if you ever listen to the Grateful Dead.
Yes.
It's that sort of jam band sort of thing. Just
Grateful Dead meets someone like what are they called? Little Feat.
I love
Little Feat.
Oh, what a drummer.
What a band.
Yeah, what a band. Okay, let's keep going. I've got to finish soon.
Yeah, so me too.
It is a Rick Beato moment.
Definitely.
Pet Moxie, in response to the nature question, the Studio Rats answer is the exact setup I have. A Princeton and the Ox makes a lovely pair. Nice. Celestian Gold and a Princeton is a sweet spot. Very nice.
Cool.
Nice. Jake, a Little Pill is rough and raw, but that's part of the charm. Yes.
Definitely.
Not good enough. Talk to Dave Gilmour. Yes, everyone should listen to Dave Gilmour. Speed, that is.
Yeah.
Speed. Get Dave Gilmour's the slowest guitar player ever. But then that's
what he means.
Always plays the right notes.
Yeah.
He knows the king of fretless bass. He is. Stick some flat wounds on it to get a bit of that fretless sound. Nice.
Definitely. Love some flat wounds. Jacko as well, of course.
Yep. Hollywood actress Paul, as you are searching for your dream amp, would you consider trying a Sir PT model, Pete Thorne? Expensive, but might suit your playing style. Already done a video on that, Hollywood actress. Did a couple of videos on the Sir Pete Thorne. Oh, do you mean amplifier?
No, the amp.
The PT. Well, they do a PT15 and a PT100. Okay. PT15 is too small.
PT100 is too big.
Yeah, the PT100, it's not too big. I don't know. I really like the features of the PT15, but it's not big enough. If they did a 30-watt version of that, I'd be all over it.
Like a rash.
Pet says Jagged Little Pill takes him back to 13 years old. Yes, and running to the local news agents to pick up the latest Total Guitar magazine. All killer, no filler. That album. Yes.
Yeah. I think of another album that falls into that category from the same sort of time in my musical timeline, and that's Woodface by Crowded House. There is not a bad track on that album.
No, that's a good album. Jacko's just the king.
Yep, you're not wrong.
Keith says the other album that springs to mind that was just all round awesome was the Fratellis. Yeah. God, they were a great band.
Let's face it, they don't have to worry about royalties anymore, do they?
Why not? What they use the tunes for?
Well, thing is, theirs, isn't it? Amy Winehouse's cover of one of their songs.
No, that's
the Fratellis, isn't it?
No, that was no,
it's not the Fratellis. I'm very sorry. It's Da, da, da,
I can hear the band. Great version.
Yeah, great. Well, great original version. Anyway, yeah.
Cool. No, Fratellis was brilliant.
Great song.
It's Keith says, as an EE electrical engineer, I guess Keith says the advice would be don't touch it when it's turned on. Yes.
Thanks for that, Keith. Yeah, great.
Jeff Fenn says Paddy Bush fretless bass, Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. Oh yes,
another one.
That is an album. That's a great album. I love Kate Bush. Bruce Brooks, all the advice you want at no charge, just reach out to me. That's nice. Cheers.
Awesome.
Bruce. Top Load Telly, you guys are getting pretty good with keeping up with the lag. Hey, look, we're burning through them.
We're pros now, and whoever this is going as well, so they can go and do one. Right.
I guess that means we're getting somewhere if someone is
If we're getting trolled, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
The Zootons. Thank you, Pet. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Late District Ambient Guitar says James Ibanez FGM 300 Japan 1994. Frank Gambale signature S Prestige JS JPM PGM Gem Desert Sun Yellow.
Wow, yeah. Lots of dough.
Alex Hutchins has one. Alex Hutchins. Now there's a guitar.
I haven't seen Alex for ages.
What a player!
Amazing player.
Really good player. Jeez. I wish I could play like that. That string skipping exercise is a bit like the Justin Guitar Spider exercise. Oh, I don't know that.
Okay, one for you to dig out on YouTube.
Listen to Derek Trucks and Tedeschi.
Tedeschi Trucks Band, amazing. Got switched onto those guys by Whispering Bob Harris.
Yeah, Derek Trucks, amazing.
Yeah.
Crean is in the house.
Hey,
how you doing? Hey, I'd like to know from Crean. Crean, I saw you went to the that Gear Fest thing. I'd like to know how
the one that Sweetwater do.
No, it's not. You know, Henning Pool.
All right, the one at the village that's next to Toman.
Is it? Is that where he does it?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because I've been told I'm going to Toman this year.
Right. Okay.
For one of the projects I'm working on, I'm going to do a thing because Benado are their media division.
Okay.
And I'm doing a thing with them for a project that I'm working on. I can't say any more than that, but I'm quite looking forward to the fact that I'm going to get the guided tour of Toman. How cool is that? Toman Village.
Nice. Top Low Telly, ditto Derek Trucks, hands down the best slide player on the planet. Absolutely amazing. Hollywood actress James, you're talking about favorite albums like Jagged, Little Pill, and Crowded House. Maybe a video of you giving us your top 10 to 15 albums.
Oh God, that would be classic rock heaven, probably.
No, it'd be like no, you'd all get bored of it. It'd be prog rock. It'd be something.
You know what? You'd be very surprised what's in my
13 and stuff.
My top 15 albums. You'd be very surprised. I tell you, certainly. I mean, it's a bit different now to what it was when I was a kid. But one of my favorite albums was the Journeyman, Eric Clapton.
Yeah, nice.
Just an amazing album. Anywho.
Yeah. Bruce says, if you want to reach out, just my name, all lowercase, no spaces, with the number 18 added to the end at Gmail. Nice.
Bruce, if this project takes shape, I definitely will, because I don't want to blow myself up.
Yes. Keith says, Bruce Brooks, maybe you'll reach out and buy your Les Paul. Yes, nice. I'd like that. The Zooton singer, when asked if he got fed up hearing Amy Winehouse, Valerie, he said no, because all I hear is the sound of the money going in my fucking bank. Good man. Tom and Tour and the Harley Benton moment of the week. Absolutely.
We're there. We've got to the end of the list. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
We're just moments short of the 2-hour mark. Thanks to everyone again for getting us past that 30k milestone. More of this kind of craziness and frivolity coming weekly throughout 2022. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hope everyone's well and stay safe and all that through whichever variation of COVID you're currently fighting against. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next week for more of the same. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Cheers, guys.